welcome back. I am Darian. Have you ever just found yourself asking, why do I keep attracting the same people, the wrong people to my life? Now, I know there is a saying that goes around saying that you attract what you attract who you are. And I would have to disagree a little bit. Yes, I do believe that that plays a factor into who you attract into your life, but I also believe that sometimes you just attract because you are, not because of who you are. So let's get into some reasons why the wrong people may be attracted to your life and some ways that you can improve so that you don't keep finding yourself in these same cycles. Okay, so I've gone on my own journeys through life for so many different things, and I've been able to find that, yes, in one season of my life, I did attract people that were pretty much in the same place as me, operating from the same type of spirit and just a mindset. And then once I started to go through transitions in my life, I started to see a difference. So actually, when I started to elevate and become just brighter and lighter spiritually, I started to work through the trauma and the pain and the different cycles that I was experiencing in my life. I started to see that, wow, as I was changing, I was attracting so many different types of people. I was attracting good people, bad people, just people were attracted to me, period, because there is this glow you start to have. So there are some reasons why you can actually be attracting these different types of people. You just have to be willing to really sit with yourself and be honest with yourself and discern where you are at. So here is one of the first reasons why you could be attracting the wrong people into your life. And the reason I say it this way is because in order to see change in life, you truly have to, even if it hurts, be willing to look at yourself and be like, okay, I can improve in this. I can change this. And then we can start to see progress and move forward. So number one is you don't love yourself. No, hold on. I know this is a hard truth to hear, but when I look back at certain times in my life, when I would allow certain things to happen in my life, I would not stand up for myself. I would allow just people to come in and out and treat me any kind of way. I thought that if I said something, then I would be being disruptive or causing a problem. And so people would continue to do the same things over and over again to me because I didn't stand up for myself. I didn't love myself enough to say enough is enough. I don't have to tolerate this treatment. And of course, nobody is going to be perfect, but once you start to address things with people, that is the quickest way to know who is really for you or who is against you. Because if they cannot take what you're saying is, I don't want to be treated like this, you have done this, and instead they choose to make excuses, not make changes, and accuse you or blame you for their very behavior, that just means that that might not be a person that should be in your life. If I personally know that I'm hurting somebody by my actions, it's one thing to do something and not really intentionally mean to do something. But if I personally know that I am hurting somebody by my actions and I continue to do those things, I clearly do not love that person. I clearly do not value that person. Even if I love having them in my life, I love having them in my space because maybe I benefit from having them around. Maybe I just have fun having this person around, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, I don't genuinely value that person because I'm okay with hurting them or just doing whatever I want, or I don't care about what they have to say regarding how I treat them. So when you do not love yourself, you are going to attract people that love to take. When you don't love yourself, you're willing to do things that you are not willing to do when you actually do love yourself. This reminds me of the classic case of the narcissist and the empath. When you are an empathetic person, narcissistic people love this because they know that you have empathy, you feel, you have compassion. So All they have to do is come in, swarm in, give you a little sob story, make it seem like life just isn't going good for them. They're not going to tell you why life isn't going good for them because they haven't done their part, but they just want you to feel bad for them and give so they can take and take. So you got to love yourself. Once you start loving yourself, once you start putting up boundaries, I can almost promise you, you're going to start losing some people in your life. If these are not genuine, true friendships and connections, you are going to start losing people. Now, your job is to stay strong and understand that this is just a part of the process. It's just a part of the journey of learning to love yourself. And as you continue on in life, it seems like once I truly started loving myself, trust and believe, people are more attracted to me as a person in whole than they were before. So it's easier to meet people. It's easier for people to catch me and want to form connections and experiences. So if you feel like, oh, well, if I stand up to people and have boundaries, I'm going to lose people. Yes, you will more than likely lose people from your life. But when you do lose people, you're losing people that truly you'll be able to see didn't bring that much value to your life. Or if they did, it wasn't more important than, loving yourself or what you deserve. So don't allow fear of not meeting people or having people in your life at a certain period, because life continues to go on and things change. Don't allow that to keep you from really living in the fulfillment of your life and being happy and receiving the treatment you deserve. Okay, let's move into the next one. I love this one because I have clearly seen this. You are attracting the wrong people into your life because you have unhealed wounds. And when you have unhealed wounds, it's easier to be attracted to toxicity. When something happens to you that is hurtful, that is painful, that can even be changing your life in a way because it has caused that much of a distress to your life. And it doesn't have to even be super deep. Like, distress sounds like overboard, okay? But when you go through a hurtful process or a thing, it could be a breakup, it could be whatever. There's so many different things that happens in this thing called life, okay? But look at your experience and see how it has changed you. I remember when I was younger, and thank God that I've been able to get back to this place. When I was younger, I experienced something that made me go from a bubbly personality to almost like dark on the inside. Like, I started to see the world and life from a dark place. And when you are in that place, that broken place, you move and operate from that place. And a lot of times it's not easy to see that, especially if you're not a self-aware person or you don't take the time to really just sit back and look at your life and reflect on the things going on in your life. And so when you're in that place, you attract and you tend to want to be around people that are in the same place as you. If you're not a happy person, you don't want somebody that's happy and bubbly around you. It's going to annoy you. It's going to irritate you because they're in a different place. They have a different frequency, vibration, spirit, whatever you want to call it. They are in a complete different place than you are. And it doesn't mean that they're better than you, but maybe they have gone through their pain and chosen to do the work. They've gone through their pain and chosen to heal and let go of what happened to them. Their thing could have been much worse than you. So sometimes it could be like, oh, well, they didn't go through this or that. They could have went through worse pain than you, but just the difference is that they took the time to deal with it. They took the time to handle it and process and work through it. And healing hurts. It really does. It actually hurts, I feel like, more than, just holding on to the pain, because a lot of times when you hold on to pain on the inside, you allow yourself to become numb. You become distracted, pick up things to do so you don't have to think about it. But when you have to sit down and unpack all the things that have happened to you, it hurts. But once you start the processing and get through it, that's when you start to become you again. That's when you start to become vibrant again and see life from a positive perspective. So in your unhealed place, you're going to attract toxic people from those wounds. So whatever has wounded you, you may find that you're attracting a lot of people with that pattern that help to facilitate that pattern, or you're attracting people that are in the same place as you. Like maybe they've had the same type of experiences and the same type of hurt and pain, and so y'all both can get along and like to be around each other because y'all both are in that space. Now, here's the thing, a lot of times when you are healed, and this goes back to you don't always just attract who you are, because a lot of times when you're in a healed place, and this could be you watching this video, actually being in the healed place, you will attract a lot of broken people. And if you really tap in, you're able to see this. So you're going to actually attract and repel a lot of broken people. The people that you are attracting that are in that state of brokenness when you are not, are usually is something inside of them that is attracted to you because they want freedom. They want to get out of it. They may not be conscious of this. Their spirit may be conscious of this. They can see that something is different about you. There is a light about you. So it's not always that they directly just want to come and destroy your life and come in and cause the pain that they have on them on you, but there's something inside of them that is attracted to you because you have overcome those certain things. So this is where you have to have boundaries, because sometimes when people are in a broken place, they don't always know boundaries. And I know that from personal experience, okay? Sometimes they are moved to cross certain things because of their own pain. It's almost like that saying, hurt people hurt people. So they may not even be aware of it. I believe that there are a lot of situations from my past where I've been betrayed and hurt that some people were aware of it, and some people genuinely, I think they weren't aware of it. Like, yes, they had these things that they needed to work on the inside, but I don't think most people think that they will ever do some of the things that they do to other people to hurt them. I think sometimes life goes on, and sometimes things happen. People are just moved in a certain moment. So be mindful of that, and be mindful that if you are attracting toxic people, it could be that you have some unhealed wounds that need to be addressed, or maybe you just need to have more boundaries because your light is actually attracting them, and you don't want them to come in and hurt you in the time where you have done the work and healed. So yeah. Okay, let's get into number 3. You may be attracting the wrong people because you have a lack of discernment, and this probably isn't just about attracting the wrong people, because regardless, you're gonna attract all kinds of people just being you. But when you have a lack of discernment, that's when you allow the wrong people that are attracted to you in your life. So discernment has changed my life in so many ways, and discernment is one of those things where you just have to see it yourself and just move accordingly. You can't be trying to ask other people, do you see this too? Or do you think this too? Yes, it is good to seek counsel at times, but you have to learn to trust that inner part of you that's saying, no, this doesn't feel right. I need to stay away from this, and just don't feel right, okay? Many times, and I've had to learn from these many times, I didn't go with what I felt on the inside, and I saw that I should have gone with what I felt on the inside, what I was being shown. Because I didn't listen to what I felt on the inside, I ended up going through things that could have been avoided. I ended up going through betrayals that did not have to happen, because I could have had those people out of my life way before that. And yes, you can heal and grow and you overcome these things, but why go through unnecessary pain and things if you don't have to? So once I increased discernment, once I started to trust that feeling on the inside, that voice on the inside, that is when I started to see my life change for the better. Now, when you are a discerning person, you will start to see so many things in the people and the relationships around you. So you have to use wisdom. You have to learn the balance in showing grace and being like, oh no, this is not okay. This is too much. This is crossing my boundaries. So that is something that I've had to learn on the journey of using discernment. But if you discern that somebody does not like you, and I'm not talking about they outwardly clearly show that they don't like you. But if you discern from somebody that they just don't value you how you choose to be valued, they don't treat you how you should be treated, trust that. Understand that that is not by coincidence that you are seeing these things. People treat you how they feel about you on the inside. Yes, some people are able to mask how they feel for a certain amount of time, but even with them trying to mask it, I have found as I've grown in my discernment, it's still clear. It's still evidence. You can see the looks on their face when you're around. Even if they hurry up and try to fix their face, they don't like you. And it's okay. It's not because of you. It's because of what they have to deal with on the inside of them. Okay, let's get into this next one, y'all. This one got me wanting to scream, okay? They see your kindness as weakness. They believe that you are vulnerable because you are kind. So me naturally, when I am talking to somebody, I just naturally can be bubbly or just kind, come off kind. And so a lot of times when people see a person that is kind, they assume that you are just dumb. They assume that you don't have any street smarts. They assume that you don't know what's going on with them. And so I even recently have had a situation where somebody tried to scheme and they assumed that I was just this girl that just was not with it, that I didn't understand what they were trying to do. And so in all of these times, it's just like, you really didn't have to do this. You really didn't have to do this, but you thought that me being kind meant that I didn't see how you move. And so many times people assume that you are vulnerable. And when people assume that you are vulnerable, if they have on the inside of them that wolf spirit, I want to say, they are schemers, then they are going to try you. They will. And this doesn't mean that you need to walk around mean and you know, all of those things. But this just means that you need to trust your discernment. If something is off with a person, if they've showed you that they're not trustworthy, you need to trust that and move accordingly. You don't have to allow people in your space. And this is even with business. If somebody has crossed boundaries with you and you're doing business with somebody, you don't have to keep these people in your life. Of course, again, it's nice to show grace to people, but when you see a pattern, that is that person's character. That is who they are. And so you have to trust what you see. You also cannot be afraid to call things out. And a lot of times when people assume that you're just nice, when people see that you operate from a place of kindness, they assume that, oh, she's not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna get over on her and that's gonna be that. She's not gonna say nothing. No, babes, you're getting called out. And so that's even more of the shocker, because when you call them out and they had not good intentions, it's just like, I've been uncovered. She's seen. So sometimes you do have to just call stuff out to people because they don't think that you see them. Or even this could be the case because they're used to overlooking things. They assume that you overlook things when it comes to other people. No. If you want to reach the highest potential of your life and live in peace and prosperity and all the things, you want to be your elevated self, you cannot just allow people to do whatever they want to you. You cannot just allow people to come around you and treat you like light work, act any kind of way around you, because those very people will cause destruction as you are going higher. Okay? When you go to certain establishments and places, notice the atmospheres. There are certain type of things that are okay in certain places and certain type of things that are not okay in other places. So think of yourself as that. Like, as you start to elevate and go higher, no, baby, this is not being tolerated over here. No, maybe over there. Maybe in this place, this is not going to be tolerated, okay? Over in this place. How about that? All right? Yeah, I see you. Okay, you guys, and this last one is pretty quick and straightforward and goes along with some of the other things I've talked about. If you are a people pleaser, you are going to attract manipulators. You are going to attract people that want to use you, take from you, and yeah. I think that's pretty like straightforward. Naturally, people want to be served. Like, to be a good person really takes intention, takes accountability to really look at yourself. So most people are not just all the time looking at themselves, growing and taking accountability. So naturally, you're going to come across a lot of people that just naturally are selfish. They naturally want to take from others. They naturally want life to be easier for them. So why not use this person, or why not get this from this person? It's not fair to expect to receive all of this and not give back in some kind of way, even if it's not the same, okay? I'm not saying you need to move from a place where you expect people to move like you, but there should be some give and take in your relationships in life. So if you are a natural people pleaser, you maybe because of what you've experienced, or it's just that's what you learned, that's what you've been taught, or you just like serving people. Sometimes people have actually truly a spiritual gift of servitude that can also be taken advantage of if you're not aware or conscious of why you are doing what you are doing. Okay, so sometimes it's not even from directly people pleasing. You're gifted in that way. That's how God made you, to where you like to serve others. So, with that being said, if you are a people pleaser, you got to come out of that. You got to learn boundaries, and you got to be willing to say no. Like, I deserve better than this. I don't want to just keep pouring out to others and they not pour back into me. I used to actually deal with this people pleasing. I thought I had to just be super nice. And let me say this too, because I know we talked about people seeing you as kindness. Kindness is just your heart is good, and so you move from that place. You're not out here trying to slight people and get over on people. Nice means you're being agreeable, and whatever anybody says, oh, let me just be nice and go along with it. When you're kind, you still operate from a place of boundaries, and you still are like, no, I'm not just taking anything, but your heart is good and your intentions are good towards people. So, with people pleasing, a lot of times you are coming from a place of wanting to appear nice, wanting to be seen as nice. And when you are wanting to be seen and accepted by others, and just when that is inside of you, it will cause you a lot of pain around the wrong people, because some people truly just don't have a cap. Some people truly aren't looking at themselves. There's been so many times that I've continued to pour and pour and pour and pour and pour and pour into people. They didn't even have a thought to check on me. They didn't even have a thought to listen to what I'm dealing with. Or even times where I would pour and pour and pour into people, and as soon as I start to talk about what I need or what I got going on, baby, nowhere to be found. Okay, gotta get off the phone. All of a sudden, got stuff to do. Nowhere to be found. They just wanted me to be their therapist. Okay, they just wanted a free therapist. All right, so stop people pleasing. Put that time and energy that you have put into pleasing others into pleasing yourself. And I don't mean that from a selfish, like, oh, type of place, but you really have to take a season to really just self-care. Take a season to look at yourself. What have you neglected in yourself? Okay? What have you neglected in your life? And start to pour into yourself. This season, I can't help nobody, okay? Unless it's emergent and I feel led to. In this season, this is for me. And then once you start to nurture yourself and feel like you're in a place where you have boundaries and can say no, then start back helping others, okay? And again, this doesn't mean you can't help anyone, but just be discerning in that season that you're just focusing on you. And then once you have poured into yourself, you can start to slowly pour it back into others. And you can let people know this. I'm just taking this time for myself because I feel drained, because I have poured out too much and people have not poured back into me. It's okay to communicate with others too, how you feel about how they have treated you. They may not respond well, but at least you have said your piece, and you have to live in the truth of what you've experienced. You have to live in the truth of what you know has happened for you, okay? Whether they accept that or not. And if they don't want to listen to you, if they choose to not accept what you have come to them with concern, that says a lot. That says a lot about the person. So that is everything for this video, you guys. Don't be discouraged if you feel like you have gone through times of just attracting the wrong people in your life. This has helped when I started to realize that just because a person exists does not mean that they're called to be in my life. Yes, if you do have certain people that come in your life and they weren't meant to be in your life, there will be lessons that you learn and other things can come from it. But once I realized everyone truly is not meant to be in your life, everyone is not meant to be your friend, everyone you're not meant to connect and go on a deeper level with. Some people literally are just assignments for life, and you have to be able to discern that. Being able to discern what people are to your life will help you to not experience so much, because you'll now start to operate from that knowledge of knowing what a person is meant to do for your life and in your life, and what you are meant to do for that person in their life. The expectations are just made straight. All right. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you have a great day. Okay? Stop playing about you. Okay? All right. Bye.